So you guys have seen the film. Uh, you liked it? Thanks for giving it the platform to screen because I don't think in North they will get us permission to screen. I have written a couple of script and I was pitching it in Mumbai to get producers, but none of them believe in the script despite praising the script that is very well written, but we can't produce it. Then this whole government change and then mob lynching and this political scenario just created a fear and a bechani in our heart to do something. And I wanted to write a love story also of a family man. So, these characters of Aani Maani were living with me in my locality, in different houses, different characters. I put them together and build a narrative. And then, when I was about to pitch it, one of my friend, the producer and the lead actor, said, "We ourselves will make, rather than wasting time in pitching. Let's make ourselves. We have a digital camera, and we'll go in our houses and shoot there." So other friends join us as an actors from theatre, and our juniors from Jamia join us as assistant. Our seniors give us offices and camera and editing setup. And the family in Sambhal, the lead actors, they provided us the food and the house and the location, and we shoot it. And we come up, we shoot it in 25 days, and then we come back to Bombay and edited it in 4 5 months, and then we sent it to Mami. It got selected there, and from there it came to IFFK Kerala. They liked it a lot and awarded it best debut feature film and best Asian netpack film. And then from there in Calicut, in Odisha, in New York it's going in April, and in Canada in IT Mumbai next month. So that's the journey of this film right now. Kerala people have supported it a lot. Every now and then I get their messages on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on Insta that they have seen the film and loved it. Thanks, you guys have came to watch the film.
You have told a very beautiful story, a very political story, and sometimes it happens when with storytellers when they tell political stories, it becomes preachy, or certain level of propaganda comes. So without being preachy and but at the same time being politically correct, being honest is a very rare accomplishment. So how do you look at taking political subjects and bringing aesthetics into it? Telling political stories is perhaps easy, but aestheticizing it, making it appealable or appealing to everyone, even those who do not subscribe to the politics per se, it is the real challenge of an artist, the real challenge of a storyteller, filmmaker. So what's your vision about it?
That's a tough question. But I was influenced by two of the filmmakers, one from Czechoslovakia, Amir Kusturica, and the other from Iran, Asghar Farhadi. So I was looking at them ki they are telling political stories with slice of life thing, and Kusturica was with more magical realism. So I was trying. I have to tell like that, like this, but the stories from my locality, my people. Plus, we are because oppressed politically in the state, so it is there. We have to be political in our text. If we are not, that's what the statement I am trying to give through the film also. Bhuttu is like he was in the jail for the false charges of terror for 8 years, 10 years. He comes out and then he starts his business and he forgets, he curses them, but he forgets. He doesn't know that he has to be politically active to tackle these things. He cannot uh, he cannot rely on others. Otherwise, he'll face another challenge. He can be put behind the bars again, or he can be lynched again if you're not going to be political. So those were the challenges in my mind, and that's what makes the duff कि इसी में से कुछ निकालना है, कि कोई ऐसी स्टोरी निकाल देना है जिसमें ये सब चीज़ें कंट्रोल में आए. And of course, I don't like to be preachy. Being preachy makes it, it bores me. Preachy films bore me. That's why I don't want to bore people. So I want to keep it slice of life plus free flowing. And we like songs. We all like songs. So I was looking for a good song. So they all created this film.
First of all, I thank the director of the film because of it's a good film. I think the merit of the film is it follows the slice of life always. You're narrating the story with full of slice of life, not with a bare ideology or bare sequences of shits. That's a beautiful narration. It gives us the contemporary situation of India. It feels very much. That's the good. I would not. How much cost you have been? How much cost you have for make this film session?
We collected almost 5 lakh rupees when we were doing the pre-production. So we went with that because we need almost 2.5 lakhs for sync sound, and the remaining for the fooding and lodging and travel expenses. So we shot it in that much amount, and then we came back and for the post-production, after the first cut, we were started looking for the co-producer because for color correction and sound you need more money. But we only got a co-producer that invested 5 lakh rupees for color correction and sound. So we made it in 12 lakhs. The rest of the crew, we promised them that once we'll sell it, we'll pay them. We have that agreement with actors and the technicians that work in the film. We'll pay them a good remuneration once we sell the film. So on paper, we have made a budget of 40-45 lakhs. But we didn't have paid them. So it was 12 lakhs rupees that we have put in the film.
Fahim is coming from a city called Azamgarh. And those who know the notorious Butler House encounter, where most of the boys from the Azamgarh, they went to the Jamia Millia and they got encountered and killed in a Butler House. And the city then became famous. Even I'm sure he studied after this incident in Jamia Millia. So how this Azamgarh even portrayed in the media as Atank or that the place of terrorist or something so how this experience of a person who come from Azamgarh and the whole media vilification around this particular place. And now in your movie, actually most of the characters are from this Azamgarh also. Most of the, even the actors are from Azamgarh. So how you see this journey of you from Azamgarh to Jamia, and there you are learning the movie and the media production and all these things. And can you reflect more around how this place actually inform or influence your kind of politics that you want to, and also the aesthetics you want to convey through your movie?
Not all of the actors are from Azamgarh. I am from Azamgarh. But you have raised right questions. Being from Azamgarh has been the land of educationists, freedom fighters, literary people, even the film people, Kafi Azmi and Shabana Azmi and Majru Sultanpuri also. And after that, However, there's and the people of Azamgarh have been vocal with their political ideology. They have opposed the tyrants from the very beginning only. So the tyrants become jealous of anybody who ask the questions, okay, who show them eyes. So they want to malign it. For the women, they use this gender-specific abuses or character. For the Muslim, they use the term terrorist. Of anybody left, they have coined a term urban Naxals. So it's their strategy to malign, to do the character assassination. That's what they do when they can't defeat in the arguments. So for me, coming from, I was also feeling that every now and then we are being portrayed as a militants, as a terrorist, as a villains. Hindi newspapers full of venom. This Atangal was coined by Times of India and Yogi Adityanath in 2008, before the Batla House encounter, and then that thing happened. I was studying in Jamia, and it was a reign of terror, and it was not the BJP government, it was the UPA first government, I think. And they have filled the whole Jamia with police and paramilitary forces. So what I thought I wanted to do I want to write, but not everybody reads. A full, the whole country doesn't read. So we have to go with the visual narrative where people can connect, people can enjoy the story also, and they can get the right politics. That was the motto. Plus, to evoke the consciousness, to evoke the empathy in people who see you as other. They are these characters who are in the film, they are like you only. They have the same dreams, same aspirations, same pains as you have. So they are not villain. Just look at their stories. You are not connected with them. You don't know their stories. You don't know their pains. So I wanted to tell that story, and these characters, where I live in Azamgarh, there were announcers in my locality. There were divorced women, girls living in almost every houses. So I know their problems. I have seen them, and I have just taken them and built this narrative. I was not married, but I think I have told a love story successfully at that time.
Did you face any threats for this film from anyone? Like opposition party or some? You're told us a true story. On basis of that, did you face any kind of threats?
Not yet, because we haven't screened it in North. It has been screened in Mumbai and then in the Kerala. So let's screen it in UP and Delhi, then we'll see how they oppose it. We haven't sent it for censor also, so we don't know what their reaction is. So till now we haven't, because when we were shooting in Sambal. It's a Muslim district, well-off Muslim district, and the whole people supported the film. Shoot, nothing will happen. The administration also didn't come. We were shooting it with drone also. So till now we haven't nobody has opposed. And I don't think people will oppose it, because it's cleverly written in that way to evoke the empathy in everybody's heart. I don't think they'll see it as an anti-film. It's a pro-oppressed film, and everybody connects with the emotions. That's what I think.
Actually, I missed the screening here, but I have already watched the movie in IFFK. So, in my opinion, it was one of the best movies in IFFK.
Thank you.
Okay. So, also I planned to skip Indian movies in IFFK and watch world cinema. But because of the schedule, I had to watch this one. And it was like, wow, actually it was a very good experience. And when I read the plot about this one in IFFK schedule, I thought it was like an art movie or something. And it was actually a good commercial movie, and it's a good love story also. So I love the scenes like the lovemaking scenes with the husband and wife, and also the family, including the family. So also the music or the song, one song in it was a very good song, like in commercial movies or something. Also the children or the girl, the small girl, she's very lovely. So regarding the politics in the movie, it is based on beef ban, yes. So actually, where did you plan to release the movie? It's like a commercial release, wide release or something?
We are talking to these OTT platforms, Netflix and
Netflix and all.
Amazon, and few of the agents have contacted also and want to pitch it there. But at present, producer, me, and the whole team is like, let's let it travel in the festivals for this year, then we will sell. Because we have made it, we don't have the budget, we have collected the money, and whatever resources we have put in it.
Okay.
So we are not running after the money, we are just want to screen everywhere. We are planning screenings for Aani Maani in Educational Institute also.
Okay.
So next month in IT, and then in Jamia and TIS. And so that's right now we have that motto. If in future, of course, we'll distribute it to sell it to the platforms so that we can generate revenue for the another film.
So it's a 2019 release, right?
It has,
2019 release.
it was made in 2019. It's not released yet on any platform. It's running in the festivals only.
So the first show was in IFFK or before that?
Before that, Mami Mumbai, October.
Okay.
This Mami festival in Mumbai, Geo.
So are you planning it for the Bangalore Film Festival as well?
Bangalore Film Festival asked censor certificate, so we haven't sent them. Though the Film Federation recommended it, as it has won the NetPack award, they asked for it. So I mailed them that we haven't applied for the censor certificate. Can you? But they haven't answered it.
Okay, thank you. So
And
once
that
again,
that girl kid in the film is a boy. Is his son of my friend. So
that's not a girl.
We were not getting any child artist, and he was living with us. He is very good. His memory is very good. So we decided to cast him as a Affi or a girl child.
This is my first time to an event like this. I'm not a major movie buff. Usually the commercial movies I watch. I stay away from art movies and movies from things basically because it's very deep. But then today I was like, okay, my hometown, why should I miss it? So I came here, and like so far they have commented, it's beautifully and very simply taken, that I felt like the boys might think, okay, after marriage, would we have to look into the lies of our wife? You know? I mean, that particular scene too is a very natural, down to earth, adding flavor or essence to the movie. So thank you so much for something like this, where you didn't cut off the usual, the boring stuff considered into it, and you brought an art to it. Like, it was beautiful. So just want to say thank you so much, and I guess we are lucky to have seen the movie. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
And yes, the child, the girl, the boy who was acting as a guy, her questions, you've just captured the everyday life where we get kids. Like, I've got my son who asked me, like, out of the blue questions, and then he goes about the Jannat. That added so much towards the end, like, that whole thing, because finally that's what it happens. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you. You watched it, and I wanted to put this film as simple as I can. I don't want all that talak balak. So consciously I wanted to put it simple film. And sometimes I connect with that kid to myself. I think it's me, I think. So maybe my questions she has raised in the film.
ഞാൻ ഈ സിനിമ കഴിഞ്ഞ IFFK ആണ് കാണുന്നത്. IFFK പൊതുവേ നമ്മൾ സാധാരണഗതിയിലും ഇന്ത്യൻ സിനിമ, മലയാള സിനിമ ഒഴിവാക്കി ഫോറിൻ ലാംഗ്വേജ് ഫിലിംസ് ആണ് കാണാറ്. അപ്പോൾ എൻ്റെ ഒരു സുഹൃത്താണ് പറയുന്നത്, നോർത്ത് ഇന്ത്യയിലുള്ള ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ ഒരു അന്തരീക്ഷം ഉള്ള ഒരു പടമുണ്ട്, ആനി മാണി എന്ന പേരാണ്, എന്തായാലും കാണണം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടാണ് കണ്ടത്. അപ്പോൾ അത് കണ്ട അന്ന് തന്നെ എനിക്ക് ഫഹീമിനെ കാണാൻ പറ്റി. ഞങ്ങൾ ഒരു ഹോട്ടലിൽ വെച്ചിട്ട് കണ്ടു. അപ്പോൾ അന്ന് ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞിരുന്നു ഈ പടം നമ്മുടെ നാട്ടിൽ കോഴിക്കോട് ഇങ്ങനത്തെ കുറച്ച് സംഭവങ്ങളൊക്കെ ഉണ്ടാകുന്ന ഒരു സ്ഥലമാണ്, അത് കാണിക്കണം എന്ന്. അപ്പോൾ എനിക്ക് സിനിമ ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടു എന്ന് ഞാൻ നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞതാണ്. അതിന് പുറമെ എനിക്കൊരു ഒരു ചോദ്യമുള്ളത്, ഇതിൽ ഈ സിനിമയിൽ ഈ കൗരക്ഷാ സേന വരുന്നത് ഏതാണ്ട് ഇതിൻ്റെ അവസാന ഭാഗത്താണ്. അതായത് യു പിയിൽ ബീഫ് ബാൻ വരുന്നത് മുതലെയാണ് അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ ലൈഫിൽ അവരുടെ ഒരു പ്രസൻസ് നമ്മൾ എവിഡൻ്റായിട്ട് കാണിക്കുന്നത്. അതുവരെ എന്തിനെന്നറിയാതെ ജയിലിൽ കിടന്ന 8 വർഷത്തോളം ജയിലിൽ കിടന്ന, അതായത് അതുവരെ കാണിക്കുന്നത് അഖിലാക്ക് എന്ന ബിട്ടു എന്ന അഖിലാക്കിൻ്റെ ഒരു 8 വർഷം കഴിഞ്ഞ് ജയിലിൽ നിന്ന് പുറത്തു വരുന്നതായിട്ടാണ് കാണിക്കുന്നത്. അദ്ദേഹം ജീവിതം കരുപ്പിടിപ്പിക്കാൻ ശ്രമിക്കുന്ന ശ്രമങ്ങളാണല്ലോ കാണിക്കുന്നത്. ഞാൻ ചോദിക്കുന്നത്, നമ്മൾ ഈ പശു രക്ഷാസേനയുടെ അക്രമങ്ങൾ ആ ഒരു ആംഗിൾ എന്നല്ലാതെ ഒരു നല്ലൊരു കുടുംബ സിനിമ കാണിക്കുകയും അതിൻ്റെ ക്ലൈമാക്സ് ഇങ്ങനെ ആവുകയും ചെയ്യുക എന്ന ആ ഒരു ഫോം തന്നെ തിരഞ്ഞെടുത്തത്. അല്ലാതെ നമുക്ക് വേണമെങ്കിൽ നേരെ തിരിച്ചും പറയാലോ. അതായത് നിരന്തരം അവിടെ പശുവിൻ്റെ പേരിൽ കൊല്ലപ്പെടുന്ന അതിൻ്റെ ഭീതി അനുഭവിക്കുന്ന ഒരു ജനങ്ങളെ കഥ പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് കുറച്ച് വയലൻ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള അവരുടെ ഭാഗം കുറച്ചുകൂടി കാണിച്ചുകൊണ്ടും ഈ സിനിമ ചെയ്യാമല്ലോ. അപ്പം അത് രണ്ടിലേത് വേണമെന്ന് തീരുമാനിക്കുന്നത് തീരുമാനാധികാരം ഡയറക്ടർ മേക്കറാണ്. ഞാൻ ചോദിക്കുന്നത് ഇങ്ങനെ വേണമെന്ന് തീരുമാനിക്കാൻ ഒരു നല്ല ലവബിളായുള്ള ഫാമിലിയെ കാണിച്ച് അതിൻ്റെ ക്ലൈമാക്സ് ഇങ്ങനെയാണ് എന്ന് തീരുമാനിക്കുന്നത്. അവിടെ ഓൾറെഡി ഒരു വയലൻ്റായ ഒരു കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി ഉണ്ട്, RSS ഉണ്ട്, അവിടെ ജീവിക്കുന്ന ഒരു ലവബിൾ ഫാമിലി, അങ്ങനെ 2 രൂപത്തിൽ നമുക്ക് സിനിമ പറയാമല്ലോ. ഇപ്പോൾ പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ തന്നെ ചെയ്യണമെന്ന് തീരുമാനിക്കുന്നത് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് കാരണമുണ്ടോ എന്നാണ് ഞാൻ ചോദിക്കുന്നത്.
I have an interlinked question. I like the film, man. Thanks a lot. It's very moving. I was just thinking because he asked me, I was going in my mind. He watched Sairat, no? Sairat. It's a similar. It's a kind of a, there's this one mode of being affected, victimhood and victimized. Well, on the other hand, as a filmmaker, one could have shown the kind of how this is being affected, and what Irshad asked was, how does a filmmaker take a decision to show the affective part, and how the violence is actually expressed from how can an artist take a decision about that, and how when we take a decision like that, how do we justify? That's I think that's a thing. But I was just thinking, would if in this you have a great reception here in amongst audience, amongst people, if you want to rework on the film, if you want to rework on the film and come up with the next one, how would you want to look back and probably is there something we can do? Because obviously one can do a very realistic film of what happened. Can we do something more? Can art do something more? That's a question I think that's inbuilt, which I want to ask.
See, every time this lynching happens, when you see the newspapers and afterwards the system, they are very soft on the murderers. They make it ambiguous, and afterwards, and in that community, they are hailed as a hero. And that whole image of dragging the dead body by the cops, it haunts us. I don't want to give them the footage, the killers and the murderers, because I know they are murderers. The victims know they are murderers and they are killing us. They have got an impunity and they are hailed as a hero there. I don't want to make them hero. I wanted these characters are human. The Buttu and his family, I want to portray them as a normal family that every family is about, and they have the same. You made the right comparison with the Sairat, but there the family kills. Here, the killing is almost political, and because of religious identities, they hide it behind the cow thing, but it's the hatred somewhere. If you nobody is killing cow in the UP, it's banned from the years. So they need a bahana. They just need a bahana. They create false excuses also कि हाँ ऐसा कर रहे थे इसलिए मार दिया. Even the media speaks like that. So and we know, everybody knows who is doing and why they are doing. So I don't want to give them the footage. I want to give them the footage to this family, and I want to portray them that they have the same questions, same problems, the middle class problem that we all have, and you should understand their problem. The people who are supporting that kind of politics, to those lynchers or that ideology, should understand there should be empathy in them. They have almost been sided with them and vilified the whole community. So I don't want to dilute it with because the moment you'll put the arguments against them, they'll come with the counter arguments. So I see this film as a soft power than a very bold political argument ki haan aisa hua tha, is wajah se dekho aisa hua tha. Then they will come it. I want to tell them ki see, this is the thing. You just think with your heart and then mind. Because any intelligent person can create argument for them. They come up with 1,000. You have what about Kashmiri Pandits? When you talk, so they have the argument. So you can't argue with them. And yes, if I revisit the film, actually I have written in the end, the wife of Bhuttu, he slaps a policeman who came for some report or postmortem, but I could not shoot it. I shoot it, this announcement thing. We have the 3 ends. I have written the 3 ends. The film was ending when there was Tarannum, the one shot where it holds on Tarannum, and we were ending there. Then I came up, father is announcer, so he should announce his death thing. We have opened with that. And then the police comes for the cops to collect for all that, where the Tarannum fights and so. But I wanted to do that thing, but I could not do it. For me, it looked like louder, and so rather than that, I put a marching song in the end.
One thing that I had seen and that I had noticed is that how you show the relationship between men and women, and the reality of relationship between men and women, and how especially in these days, how women are given the opportunity, or especially there are several scenes in which when the husband sees his wife standing, he asks her to sit down, and the camera comes at the same level. And I love that part, and the part where he asks her to try the cigarette, and it's I felt that it was all part of showing how equal people were. And another thing that I had noticed is that how visibly the takbir was shown, or how visibly, at times when La ilaha illallah is misinterpreted, we are trying to show, or it's important that a counter narrative is created to show that this is the actual meaning of takbir, or there is another meaning to this takbir. And I really like that. And another thing is that I had noticed is that the actors, they were living in this film. The cast was very perfect. They were not acting, they were actually living. And thank you for making such a beautiful film, and I hope you make more and more beautiful films. Thank you.
Thank you for your wonderful comments. You are intelligent than me.
ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ അല്ല, ഒരു കമൻ്റാണ്. കാരണം എനിക്ക് ഈ സിനിമ കണ്ടതിൽ എനിക്ക് ഏറ്റവും കുറച്ചുകൂടെ ഭീകരമായിട്ടുള്ളൊരു സീനായിട്ട് തോന്നിയത്, ഒരിക്കലും ഈ ഒരു വ്യക്തിനെ കൊല്ലുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ, ഈ ബീഫ് വിൽക്കുന്ന ഒരാൾ എന്നുള്ള നിലയ്ക്ക് ഗോസംരക്ഷണ സേന ഇദ്ദേഹത്തെ അടിച്ച് കൊല്ലുന്നതിനേക്കാളും, അത് കാണിക്കുന്നില്ല, എന്നാലും അതിനേക്കാളും എനിക്ക് ഭീകരമായിട്ട് തോന്നിയൊരു സീൻ ഏതാണെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ, ബീഫ് കച്ചവടം ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി ഇദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് നിന്ന് കൈക്കൂലി മേടിക്കുകയും അവസാനം ഒരു എന്താ പറയുക, ഒരു ഗത്യന്തരമല്ലാതെ ഒരു അവസ്ഥയിൽ നിൽക്കുന്ന സമയത്ത് പാകിസ്ഥാൻ ജാവോ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു സീനുണ്ട് അതിനകത്ത്. അത് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നത് ഈ ഒരു കൊലപാതകത്തിനേക്കാളും കൂടുതൽ ഇന്നത്തെ ഒരു രാഷ്ട്രീയ സാഹചര്യത്തിൽ ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ പ്രാധാന്യം ഉള്ളൊരു സീൻ അതാണെന്ന് എനിക്ക് കുറച്ചുകൂടെ തോന്നിയത്. കാരണം ഒരു കൊലപാതകത്തെ ഒരിക്കലും ഒരു വില കുറച്ച് കാണുന്നതല്ല, ഒരു മനുഷ്യജീവൻ്റെ വില കുറച്ച് കാണുന്നതല്ല, പക്ഷേ അതിനേക്കാൾ വലിയ ആഘാതം ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ പോകുന്നൊരു കാര്യമാണ് ഈ ഒരു മുദ്രാവാക്യം, പാകിസ്ഥാൻ ജാവോ എന്ന്.
Yeah, recently after this CAA protest in UP, one of the cops said that thing. You have seen that video has resurfaced in social media, and people were, even the Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi, the BJP, he said he is saying the wrong thing, he should be punished. So that mentality is there. They give you two options, either go to Pakistan or Kabristan. That's the popular. They cry a lot on the Kashmir thing. They were throwing, what you are doing here from the north, from the last so many years. Then Narasimha Rao, when he was the CM of Andhra Pradesh, he said कि जो पाकिस्तान रेडियो सुनता उसके कान में शीशा पिघला के डाल देना चाहिए. Is the kind of statement that Chief Minister should give? No. So it is there. They are using it either right. The politics is like that only. So the state, because state is not giving the proper representation to all the sections of the society, it's happening. They are making you other because you are not there, and you are not there because you are not doing the politics. You said ki haan theek hai, I will sell the kebab, I have my own. You have to take part. You have to reclaim the preamble, constitution, flag. Then only you can argue with them on past. That's what the women in Shine Bagh is doing.